My name is McGuire, and I'm a child in need of care caseworker, and I work for the Office of Social Services for the Colorado River Indian Tribes. I'm here today to discuss the proper protocols that need to take place for teachers who suspect that child abuse is taking place. Today in America, many of our nation's youth are experiencing one or more forms of child abuse. One of the most common form of child abuse is by far neglect. In 2012 alone, more than 538,000 children were neglected, which accounted for about 78% of all victims of child abuse. In addition, neglect was either the sole cause or a contributing factor to the over 68% of the 1,560 child-related deaths in 2012. Unfortunately, these statistics include only the children who came to the attention of CPS. According to the National Incident Study of Child Abuse and Neglect, which generates broader estimates by gathering data from multiple sources, it shows a much higher number of maltreatment. The data from the National Incident Study of Child Abuse and Neglect shows that more than 770,000 children were neglected. Both federal and state laws provide basic definitions of child abuse and neglect. The Federal Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act, as amended by the CAPTA Reauthorization Act of 2010, defines child abuse and neglect as, at a minimum, any recent act or failure to act on the part of a parent or caretaker which results in death, serious injury, emotional harm, sexual abuse, or an act or failure to act when presents an imminent risk of serious harm. According to state law, neglect is commonly defined as the failure of a parent or other person with responsibility for the child to provide needed food, clothing, shelter, medical care, or supervision to the degree that the child's health, safety, and well-being are threatened with harm. Another form of child abuse that as teachers you may find yourself encountering as much as neglect is physical abuse. According to the National Child Abuse and Neglect Data System, in 2010 an estimated 3.3 million reports of alleged abuse and or neglect involving approximately 6 million children were made to the local CPS agencies across the country. An estimated 899,000 of these children were determined to be victims of abuse and or neglect. Of these, 16.6% were determined to be victims of physical abuse. Further, an estimated 1,460 children died in 2010 as a result of child abuse and neglect. So what is child physical abuse? Child physical abuse is defined as non-accidental trauma or physical injury caused by punching, beating, kicking, biting, burning, or otherwise harming a child. Physical abuse is the most visible form of child abuse. Many times physical abuse results from inappropriate and excessive physical discipline. A parent or caretaker, while angry, may be unaware of the magnitude of force with which he or she strikes the child. Other factors that can contribute to child abuse include parents' immaturity, lack of parenting skills, poor childhood experiences, social isolation, as well as frequent crisis situations, drug or alcohol problems, or domestic violence. So what's the steps for teachers if you suspect that a form of child abuse is going on? The first steps would be for you, the teachers, to immediately notify the school principal. Under no circumstances are you to question the child regarding the issue. Only report the incident or behaviors to the school principal or appropriate authorities. From there, the principal, along with the teacher reporting the incident, will call the child abuse hotline. The child abuse hotline is a direct number to report child abuse to CPS. They will take a report of what was seen and the demographics of the student. Afterwards, the teacher has 72 hours to follow up with a written report that is to be submitted to CPS. From there, if CPS finds enough cause to investigate, they will start the investigation process. Overall, neglect and physical abuse is unfortunately a very common occurrence in your field. Being aware of the signs and traits of children being abused will help you determine when outside intervention is needed. It is better to be safe than sorry, so keep your eyes open and follow the proper protocol. I have forms here for you for the 72-hour forms that you need to turn in CPS. So thank you so much, and you guys have a great day. Tell me you got me.
Oh, it's recorded.